Today I'm going to be talking about my experience here at Winthrop University as a freshman, fresh out of high school, because I feel like when we talk about college, like we talk about like how it's not easy and it's not the same as high school, and stuff like that, but like they don't really be specific, and I'm just here to give you guys who are interested in going to college like some of my insights and try to be specific as I can, try to be very transparent as I can. I don't want to be too valuable because even talking about this stuff with my therapist or with my counselor or the student dean, just talking about it is like gets me like very vulnerable and a little bit emotional. So we just gonna see what happens. But without further ado, let's get into this video.
You're the little good things you do, they make me no. This distance is taking a hold of me for sure, baby girl.
Okay, so let me start off by introducing myself. My name, because let me be specific in this. My name is Dawn Asia, and I go by so many things because I don't change my name on social media so much, on here so much. I am gonna change my name one more time on here, and that's it. But for the most part, people know me by Jordan, Nasia, Nene. Really, my family call me Nene. My family don't really call me that no more, actually. But growing up, that was my nickname growing up. My family called me Nasia now, or they just call me Nay. But my closest friends most likely call me Nasia. I don't really hear none of my friends call me Nay. If anybody called me Nay, it was my friends. They've known me since elementary, basically. So yeah, so if you're new to my channel, please subscribe and come back for more, and make sure you leave your comments and let me know what you think about the videos. I definitely do look at my comments, and I do take notes myself. So let me start off by saying that I am a student at Winthrop University. This is my freshman year. My major was sociology with a concentration in criminology, and I actually recently just changed that to something that I really think I'm gonna love, something that I really believe that I'm very passionate about. My major now is mass communication with a concentration in marketing management, or it's either management. I just changed it yesterday, y'all, so you will bear with me. Let's just say my minor has something to do with business. I'll leave it at that. So yes, I am a mass communication major with a minor with something in the area of business. Let's just leave it at that right now. And hopefully I don't change it again, because I believe this is what I'm really passionate about and what I really want to do. So, Okay, why did I choose this school? I chose Winthrop University because when I did the tour, it felt like home away from home. It just felt natural. It felt like something that I would like and I would enjoy. You always want to pick a school that feels like home. You don't want to go to a school where you're going to feel uncomfortable or where you feel like you can't be yourself whatsoever. And also because I thought that I would be getting a change of new scenery, which I kind of am, but it's still like I knew a good bit of people who is also going here, which I didn't know would be going here. I wanted like a new scenery of everything. But anyways, that's why I chose the school. What was my expectation versus reality? Okay, so choosing Winthrop University, let's say I didn't really have an expectation. I came to college trying not to have an expectation on what I thought it would be like. What I did know, though, is that whatever I do within the years of me being in college, I definitely want to make a difference, make a change, build connection, and want to be doing something that's lifelong worth it, that's going to help my future, help me, So that's the main reason as to why I even chose to go to college. Yeah, I want the degree. I want that degree real bad, but it's more about, for me, about making moves for my future. Yeah. So let's get into topic number one. We're gonna talk about the academics and classes. One, I want to say, when we talk about academics and classes, I don't want to say that the classes are not, based off of my experience in my classes so far, they're not hard per se. College has to do with a lot of having discipline and time management, especially because when they say it's different from high school, the learning curriculum is different, and what I mean by that is like the fast paced, um, you know how like in classes in high school you learn a unit, you have time to work with on these projects in class, and you might review this and that. That's not what college is. You go every day, you're learning something different, even if it's in the same unit, but you're not going over it in class. It's up to you to do it on your own, or figure out to fit that into your schedule depending on what you're doing or how active you are in college whatsoever. I want to say that. So it's not, I don't want to say it's hard, but then for some people, if you're picking a class just to get the credit, like, and it's not something that you're interested in, or it's not something that relates to your passion, even with general ed, because gen ed classes, like, I feel like you can look at the classes and read what the class consists of to figure out, okay, you like this, you can do this, how you did with that in high school, whatever the case may be. It's always on a different level. It's on a higher level, but it's like you gotta think about stuff like that. Like, you gotta really think about, would you really like that? Are you really gonna put time for that class if you pick it? Like, are you really gonna put study time down? That's what I feel like. I don't really think it's necessary. I just think people just be picking classes, especially when it comes to the general ed classes, general education classes. When it comes to those classes, I just feel like people just pick certain classes because they need the hours and that's required. This and that, third. And I really think you should really look at the class and analyze it. Even think about the teachers. Like, ask people around, how was this teacher? What class do you recommend? This and that, and third. Like, I really feel like to avoid the hardship in your classes and picking your courses is really just analyzing it and really just doing your research. So classes can be hard, but they don't have to be. Is basically what I'm trying to say. Making friends. I want to say making friends for me in college is definitely not easy. And that's because I'm shy. I don't want to say I'm not outgoing, because I am. Okay. I am, but at the same time, I'm not. Like, when I came here, I did not really put myself out there like that. I don't want to say I didn't put myself out there like that, because I popped up to an event, and mind you, I did have family who goes here, so I would go out with them, but I didn't really insert myself too much, because it's like, you already had your friend group together whatsoever. So for me, it wasn't easy, but it came easily to me. I'd rather somebody come up to me and be like, hey, you know, you cool or whatever. But what I also know was in college, some people are really cool, some people aren't, and they looking for you to come up to them too. But even though I know that, I still not gonna do that, and next year I'm probably not gonna do that either. But I got my friend group, and I love my friends. So yeah, actually, my college best friend so far, because we've been really cool for a good minute, and we've had disagreements, but when you understand friendship for real, y'all can do anything, right? Okay. But she actually, I don't know how it really came about. Like, I don't know. Like, I know she approached me, but I can't remember exactly how. And I know somehow, somewhere, our numbers got exchanged. And then she texted me. It was like, hey, you want to go out with us? This, not third. And just really, like, welcome me into her friend group, the people who she was already hanging around. And that's how I got my friend group. Like, always offering. We did sleepovers, movie nights, and game days, stuff like that. And it's been really, really solid for real, so far. So yeah, that's my girls. Those are my girls. And I have friends outside my friend group too, but they're not really as they're not really as close as me and this girl who I'm talking about. Which, if you see my spend a day with me video on Instagram or TikTok or something like that, then you know who I'm talking about. Well, yeah. So making friends for me is not really it's not an easy thing for me. If you're very outgoing, if you don't mind going up to people and approaching them, then it's not gonna be hard for you. I can't say it's not gonna avoid drama, because for me, I avoid, like, with my friend group, anybody. I really didn't have a fallout with nobody. You know what? I'm gonna stop talking. Anyways, like I said, yeah. But I didn't really have no drama going on. Most people who are outgoing, I don't want to say most people, but I know some people, they do, like, when they are very outgoing and they just go talk to people who they think they cool or whatever, and they be cool, and then some weird stuff start happening. Yeah, that's why I just said let it come to you. That's what I did. I just let my friend group get into me, like, yeah. Cause baby, be trying to avoid weird things, and I'm also very cautious of the type of people I keep around me too. If I am around you and you are a cool person, but I don't like the way how you move, how you do things, how you carry yourself, I'm gonna definitely stop talking to you, because that matters. The type of people you keep around you matters, especially in college. And I'll get into that later. Living situation. My living situation. This is my dorm room. As you can see, that right there is my closet. That is not my closet, but I turned that into a supply unit, cleaning supply unit. So that's where, like, my cleaning supplies is at, my broom, my laundry, my washing powder, softener. That's where all of that stuff is at, and that is because I did have a roommate, but when we moved in, my roommate was actually really never here. I think we only slept in this room together about maybe 2 or 3 times. And she already had friends on campus anyway, so, like, we never really hung out. We only hung out like twice, and that was the first 2 days of moving day when she moved in, because I moved in early. And when she moved in, we hung out maybe like about 2 days, but not straight. So yeah, and the friend she already had was getting a new dorm room and asked her to be her roommate, so she moved out. And ever since she moved out, this has been my room. But this has always been my room. Like I said, my roommate, we only slept in this room like maybe twice or 3 times together. This has always really been my room. Like, I've always had the space whatsoever. So that's my living situation, which I actually really love it. It don't bother me. Do I want a roommate? I think a roommate could be very helpful sometimes if y'all get along and y'all make sure each other, like, wake up on time and get to class. So, I think it could really be a great thing too. But I personally haven't experienced having a roommate. I experienced having a dorm room by myself, which I actually love. And I might try having a roommate to see if I like that too, see how that goes. If I don't, then I will request to have my own room, my private room. Because I'm not supposed to have this room to myself. I was supposed to been get I just cracked my neck. I was supposed to been get another roommate, and that didn't happen. So yeah. So yeah, my living situation, my dorm room is really good. It's very, very small though. The only thing I don't like is I do like to cook, but in this resident halls, the kitchen is not in the room. It's all the way at the end of the hallway, and I'm on the opposite, and I'm actually at the end of the opposite. So that being said, I gotta walk all the way at the end of the hallway to cook, walk all the way back here to bring all my stuff in here. And yeah, so I only really cook occasionally. Like, my spring break, I cooked before my vacation because my boo, I decided to cook some food and make buffalo dip. And that was the last time I cooked. which I cook salmon, rice, broccoli, and buffalo dip. Yeah, that's it. Salmon, salmon, salmon. Anyways, balancing school and content. You guys, okay, I'm not gonna lie. I just started doing content again while in school. As you know, if you've seen my video, the vlogmas from this year, I was a cheerleader slash dancer this school year, and I didn't really try, but then again I did. It's just I always had something going on. And last semester I had a handful of classes. This semester I didn't apply for that much classes, which I really probably should have because I had too much time on my hands. It's just not good for me. For me to continue in motion and actually do good, I really need to have not a lot going on, but I need to have a schedule. Too much time on my hand. But recently I just made a new calendar with my content schedule and my class schedule, and it helped balance out. So I enjoy it as well, and it also reminds me. So when it sends a reminder, it stays at the top of my screen until I actually click it off, like check it off, which is why I love the app that I'm using as well. And it's been really, really good. It keeps me actually active and productive. Within the past couple of days of me using it, because like I said, this is recent, this is new, and it does keep me proactive. So, productive. Proactive, is that even a word? Anyways, it does keep me productive. School life. Okay, school life, I'm going to say school life is fun. It's fun. Like the parties, the events. It's fun. But like I said, okay, most people when they were meeting me some people didn't think that I was a freshman. They said I gave off sophomore vibes. And most of my friends that I do be around or hang around there are a sophomore or they are transferred. So I kind of move like them, and I'll go to a few parties or whatever, but mainly my friends be having to drag me out, and I'll be going back and forth with them, and then I'll finally be like, yeah, okay, I'll go out. But my friends, they really have to drag me out to go partying. But for the most part, one thing somebody told me is you don't want to be too early because it makes you look like a freshman, basically. But I really feel like you can never be too early for anything. But I mean, whatever. Because some parties be packed, and then say you don't go early or you don't get before the time, and now you waiting in a long line, and outside is cold. Yeah, I'd rather get to a party early. But anyways, yeah, it's really cool or whatever. It's never really been any drama on this campus except recently. But it's fun, it's cool. I don't go to every event. Like we have a Darty party coming up this weekend and I will not be going. I don't think so. I don't know. I'm saying that now, but I don't know. We gotta see. We gotta see. The events and stuff. When school first started, I was making sure I get to all the events because as a college student, certain schools you gotta have cultural events. From my school, we gotta have cultural events, and we have to have 18 cultural events. By the time we graduate, we cannot graduate without those 18 cultural events. So I was trying to get to the events and any fair that we had whatsoever. Now it's like a struggle because I don't really be focused on that. Like I just be really trying to get my academics straight whatsoever. This is what I really want to make this video about. The biggest challenge of college, the hardships, family members, things that add pressure, what makes it hard. Okay. I'm going to tell you, not having discipline and not being not being a master at time management has been my biggest challenge. It still is my biggest challenge, y'all. When I say this, I be so much in and out my mind when it comes to like my classes, trying to make sure I'm set, trying to save my scholarships, trying to get my GPA to where I want it to be so I can do certain things. That is so hard. Like even not even just that by itself, but like coming up with studying habits for certain classes. I'm a big believer that with the way how your teacher teaches will determine how you should study for that class. What you used to do or what you do for one class, you cannot do to another class because all your teachers don't teach the same. For me right now, one of my classes that is my biggest challenge is French. I took French in high school and I made a perfect grade with that class. And I thought I would be able to do it in college. Why? Because I took French at the school I was going to. It was a high curriculum before I switched schools. And it was really, really hard to make easy grades at that school for me. Versus all the other schools that I ever went to, I couldn't make easy grades. So that's how I know. For me to make a good grade in French, like A's, B's in French, yeah. In high school, at that school, that wasn't easy for me to make easy good grades, yeah. So, but the way how my teacher taught is different from the way how this teacher teaches. Here, I signed up for French 101, which is a beginner class. My thing is that teacher from the time class start to now, she speaks French the whole class. It might be about 4 or 5 words that she says in English. That just does not help me. I write the notes or whatever. You can write notes, whatever. But if you're not really understanding what your teacher is saying in class, and especially a language class, it makes it really, really hard. And people say going to office hours would help, but for me, I go to like the language labs, that didn't help, and I didn't think going to my teacher would help because literally if she speaks French the whole class, what is she gonna do when I go to the office hours? I think like that. And because of that, I'm taking this class because it has 4 credit hours, which will really help me. And I'm not doing good in the class I thought I would do well in. Had me bawling my eyes out Monday. I said bawling like I was bawling my eyes out, crying 85 minutes back to back. So that's a thing for me, like seeing that I thought that I would do good in the class and trying, like really trying my best and actually using my resources, asking for tutoring, and then they really don't have tutor for French at least. So that's another thing. It's like, well, I really, really want to do good. I really want to do well. I really want to be able to keep my scholarship, keep my GPA up high, so I can go to school for free. Because now I'm thinking about how am I going to come here? How am I going to pay for school whatsoever? And that was what my mindset was at. So just the hardship is just like really, really trying your best when you know you're trying your best and it feels like you're not. That's my hardest challenge. Like even trying to stay in the moment and not thinking far ahead, because when I feel like when I'm not doing good, I start thinking far ahead, like, oh my gosh, this is gonna affect this, and how am I gonna do this? And that stresses me out. So that's one of them. Another thing that I would say would challenge for me is being in college and having your parents always on you constantly like that. Y'all, that is so stressful. Like, I know, and I feel like I probably wouldn't stress so much if I didn't have nobody on, like, oh, you need to do this, you need to get this up, or you need to do better, or this and the third, or trying to ask me how am I going to do this and this and the third. Not if I didn't have nobody doing that, I feel like I wouldn't be stressing. And I'm not saying like, oh, I feel like I wouldn't be stressing, I wouldn't be trying. Like I would be trying. But now, like once somebody get in my head, like especially my family members, especially my mama, once they get in my head, now I'm constantly in my head stressing because you done put this in my head and making me feel like I'm already not doing enough when I already feel like I'm not doing enough, this and the third. That is a challenge. Like your family members can really add pressure on you that can really make college hard. You don't even realize that. Even family that who brags about you being in college, or just be like, you know, just trying to uplift you. Like they want people to know that you're doing good and that you're trying to do something with yourself. But as a college student, hearing that and then knowing that people like looking up to you and stuff like that, that is so much pressure. That's another stress added on, because it's like, dang, y'all saying all this and y'all don't really know I'm doing in college for real. Like, it is stressful for real. It is. I don't want to say mind nagging, because it's just add another type of level of stress. It's like, dang, like I really can't really mess this up. That's one. And another thing is, when you go to college and you have an idea of how you want your college experience to be, like joining stuff and stuff like that, and you see people passing you by and it feels like you're just sitting there stuck, that is another, I cannot stress enough, that is another stressful thing. Like, seeing people doing what they really want to do in reference and maintain good grades, whatever the case may be, that is another thing too. But I can tell you that it's not, everybody is not like that. You never know, people might be in the same boat. Like, that's why I say have friends. And even when you talk about classes, like, talk about stuff like that. Talk about, if as a freshman, if you feel like you're not doing good, ask people questions like, what was their GPA their first year, whatever. I promise you, depending on your mindset that you have is what will determine if you can make it through college or not. And I really say that because it's people who I know. I have a friend, he's a senior now. He don't go here, he goes to Alabama. And when he started college, his GPA was lower than mine. And he is graduating this year. This is his 4th year. He never went over a year. And he's in an organization. This organization that he's in, you gotta have a certain GPA. And his GPA was lower than mine, mind you. Not in good standard. I'm in good standard as of now. But, so just having examples and seeing that people somehow push through it, even with people just meeting me or knowing me through social media, becoming my friends through social media, who did go to this school, would tell me stuff like how their GPA wasn't good and they just pushed through and they just graduated. So it's about the mindset that you have. I think that the hardest thing about college is maintaining a peaceful, positive mindset, especially when you're going through so much. Because you're going to be a freshman in college, get therapy, get an advisor. Well, you should automatically get an advisor, but use those resources. Ask for help if you really want to join something. Like, be like, okay, I don't know how to do this, or I don't know how to plan. Plan out this to get what I want, whatever. There's always a resource that you can use. Use it. I do. So yeah, but that don't mean that you're not gonna stress. That don't mean it's gonna take the stress off you. That don't mean it's not gonna be hard, because it's gonna be hard. I'm gonna tell you that it's gonna be hard, but you gotta keep a positive mindset. You gotta keep on pushing and don't give up. Don't give in. Keep on going. And it's gonna be days where you gotta cry. And if you gotta cry, if you feel like you gotta cry. It's okay to feel your feelings. It's okay to sit in that feeling, but don't sit in it too long. It's okay to sit in it and feel it, but get yourself together, pull yourself together, and keep on pushing, keep on moving. What Dory say? Just keep swimming, just keep swimming. Yeah, that's what college is about. So just keep swimming, and you're gonna get through those hard times. That is just what I feel like college is. So my family members see this, yeah. Sorry, but yeah, that's how I really feel for real. Y'all be adding stress to me, and yeah, we're gonna leave it there. The best and worst moments. My best moments is in college so far is literally just being with my friends. And I say that because my friends they fail to realize my friend groups, people who I keep around me, people who I conversate with, people who I associate myself with. Like I said, I'm very conscious of the type of people I keep around me. So anybody I keep around me, they're not just here to party. Like, they're really trying to do things for their life. But at this college, I don't think nobody's here to just party. But the people who I keep around, they're interested in the same things. We have similar common interests. What they fail to realize is that, I don't know if they realize it, but they really do keep me in a positive mood and uplift me without even knowing that they're doing it. Just being around them, making sure, like, planning study sessions together, whatsoever, joking around, like just being out and conversating, it really, really helps with your energy. It keeps you in a good mindset. Being around people who constantly study will motivate you. Not saying that I don't study, but it's another reason to keep you going, even when like you feel like you can't get through whatever course it is that you're doing. So those are my best moments. I don't think I really had a worst moment. I don't think I do, but I'll have to think about that and get back on y'all with that. Like, and then again, it is my first year in college, so who knows? If I had to say I had a worst moment, I think it would be when I went to my teacher from last semester, who was also student dean here, because I had her last semester. I went to her for help because I just felt like I couldn't do it, and I was crying in that office. Yeah, but I don't think I was loud though. But yeah, I think that would have been my worst moment too. That could be a worst moment or whatever. So I think I gave you guys tips as I was explaining to why, how to get through college. I just want to say, just analyze the courses and the classes that you pick. Ask people, talk to people about the classes. You know, get an insight, like really get an insight of the class, of how you, like, when you ask people, it should feel like you're in that class now and they're explaining it to whatever they liked about the class, what they didn't like about the class, their level of, like, was it easy, was it hard, how was the professor. Ask those type of questions. So if you're try to get to know people at your school that you're applying to go to now, so that you would know and have an eyesight. That's one of my tips with classes. I want to say, try to work on your time management and your discipline throughout the summer, so that you would have some type of structure with it when you get to college, because that is one of the main things that college is about. Like, really, you really need to study, because these classes is not waiting for you. They're not slowing down. These classes go by fast. Yeah. So definitely do that, and also keep good people around you, for real. That will help you determine on how you will do in college as well. I really feel like having a certain people around you and the type of friends you have will determine how you do in college, if you can make it through college, whatsoever. And I don't necessarily think that everybody cannot make it through college, but like they say, college isn't for everyone, but you really gotta really want something to go after it and do it. So yeah, those are my tips for people who are seniors in high school and want to go to college, or is going to college, who is very, very nervous, or don't know if that's the best decision for them. What was I? Yeah. If you're new to my channel, please like, comment, and subscribe. Leave your opinion about the video, about how you think this video went, as far as like me talking and the engagement. Leave that in the comment. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And like I said, if you're new, join the family. Join the family. Leave your opinions in the comments. And if you have video ideas as well, please leave them in the comments. See you later. Until again, she leads out.
You can trust in me. I can. You said I can trust in you.